Hello, my name is Jess and welcome to the Storyteller Fox. Come along and listen to read aloud books, be it for bedtime, story time, or simply to read along. Hello, my name is Jess and welcome to the Storyteller Fox. In today's story time, I will be reading you a book called The Boy Who Ate Everything. Illustrated by Richard Watson and written by Clemency Pierce. The Boy Who Ate Everything. The most gruesome thing I ever did was when I was a little kid. I was so hungry. On that day, I swallowed all that came my way. I ate some toast. I ate some cake, then gobbled up my dinner plate. I ate the table and my chair. I ate a brush complete with hair. I ate some mud. I ate some ants. I ate my brother's underpants. I ate the shed and ate the bins, complete with old banana skins. I ate the lady from next door, yet still I needed something more. I thought, perhaps a submarine. But then I saw a tin of beans. At last I'd filled my naughty tum. Then came a grumbling from my bum. It felt as though the ground was shaking. Oh, what noise my gut was making! Something huge was in my pipes. Oh, help! Oh no! Oh gosh! Oh cripes! A bottom burp so huge and loud was shooting me above the clouds. Flying with such style and grace, into outer space. This spotty squeak went on and on until the earth was almost gone. So there I sat all on my own in silent orbit, far from home. How the heck would I get down? And then I heard another sound. From my belly came a growl, a rattling, moaning, thumping howl. A belch so mighty in its girth, it sent me rushing back to earth. I landed, bump, right on my dad. My mum was fuming, steaming mad. "What a mess!" she cried in tears. "You're grounded now for 80 years. So please be careful what you eat. Stick to greens and fruit and meat. Recall the mess beans get you in. I think I'll have another tin. The end.
Tabby McTat by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Tabby McTat was a busker's cat, with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the old checked hat, and this was their favourite song. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. One morning, while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll round the block, then stopped, for there on a doorstep sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She was black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat, and that's how their story began. For while they were chatting of this and of that, a thief had his eye on the old checked hat. He eyed it, he snatched it, he ran. The busker gave chase, but he tripped on a lace, and crash, in a flash he was down. He broke his leg and he banged his head, and he ended up in a hospital bed in a faraway part of town. "Goodbye," McTat said. "I must get back to find Fred." But where had the buskers gone? The sun went down and the sky grew black. The stars came out, but he didn't come back. McTat lingered on and on. A week later, Sock took a stroll round the block and found her new friend looking thin. "He's gone off and left me," said Tabby McTat. Then Sock said, "My people, Prunella and Pat, would gladly find room for a fine tabby cat." She was right, and they took McTat in. Next morning, old Fred left his hospital bed and found his way back to the square. But a brass band stood where the pair once sat, and the band played this and the band played that. And Fred looked all round for his loud, meowed cat, but Tabby McTat wasn't there. Now, McTat had a wife and a very full life, with plenty of things to do, like washing Prunella, and pouncing on Pat, and hiding the car keys under the mat, and keeping the newspapers nice and flat, and giving the pens an occasional bat, and nibbling this and nibbling that. But he dreamed of his friend with the old checked hat, and always woke up with a mew. And often he said, "What's happened to Fred?" And his paws took him back to the square. But a conjurer stood where the pair once sat, and he pulled out this, and he pulled out that, and people threw coins in the tall black hat. But the busker was never there. One morning, Sock said, "Look under the bed and see the 3 kittens I've had." And Somers looked like this, and Susan like that. And the littlest kitten, called Samuel Sprat, looked exactly the same as his dad. The 3 kittens grew and they learnt how to mew, and McTat sometimes sang them his song. And Samuel Sprat, with his tabby grey fur, had a deafening meow and a very loud purr, and he simply loved singing along. Me, you and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. When Suzanne and Soames found very good homes, their parents were happy and proud. There was one home like this, and another like that. But nobody wanted poor Samuel Sprat. They all said, "His voice is too loud." Now Tabby McTat was a home-loving cat, but he couldn't stop dreaming of Fred. And one day he called for his wife and his son, and he told them, "There's something that has to be done. I must go find him," he said. So up and down and all over town he wandered a whole week long. For many a morning and afternoon, by the light of the sun and the light of the moon, till he heard a familiar song. Just me and the old guitar. If I had a cat, I'll be happier far. Just me and the old guitar. With my cat, I'll be happier far. It's Tabby McTat! It's my long-lost cat! Old Fred was ecstatically glad. Then the 2 of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in the new checked hat. But why did McTat feel sad? He was missing his wife and his comfortable life, and the dozens of things to do, like washing Prunella and pouncing on Pat, and hiding the car keys under the mat, and keeping the newspapers nice and flat, and giving the pens an occasional bat. But how could he tell the busker that? Then out from a shadow sprang Samuel Sprat. "Oh, please let me be the busker's cat," he said with his defeating mew. Now Samuel Sprat in the busker's cat, with a meow that is loud and strong, the two of them sing of this and that, though Samuel sings just a little bit flat, and people throw coins in the old checked hat, and this is their favorite song. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly, perfectly happy we are. Me, you, and the old guitar, how perfectly happy we are.
Are we ready to listen to scary stories read aloud online? Well, here is a story perfect for those nights when you'd like to hear, when you'd like to listen to eerie stories, or even for Halloween. Here we can see a ghost. On the picture, you can see there's a picture of a ghost. And this is the ghost of Miss Annabel Spoon by Aaron Blabby. The Ghost of Miss Annabel Spoon by Aaron Blabby. The village of Twee, 7 miles from the sea, had a problem more awful than most. It was haunted and cursed. Yes, the folk feared the worst. Oh, the township was plagued by a ghost. Spooky town? No matter what hour, she lurked looking sour. Be it midnight or mid-afternoon, her dresses were shabby, her mood always crabby. Her name was Miss Annabel Spoon. Oh, the horror, the panic, the townsfolk were manic. They suffered distemper and fists. It was dreadful to see every poor soul in Twee simply petrified out of their wits. Enough is enough, puffed the mayor in a huff, to a crowd who were equally cranky. Things must be improved. Yes, she must be removed. Then he patted his head with a hanky. But how? Asked the baker. We'll just have to make her, the school teacher said with a scowl. The doctor said, oh, we're all doomed, don't you know? And the wind through the trees, it did howl. But just at this juncture, a small voice did puncture the noise in the room like a spear. It said, I just thought that we ought to just ask the poor ghost why it's here. Well, the room it did stop. You'll have heard a pin drop, and the terrified mob seemed to settle. Then they all turned to see who on earth could that be. It turns out it was young Herbert Kettle. That's it. you mad?" asked the grocer. But Herbert said, "No, sir. I think we should just ask her why." "You're insane," spat the mayor, madly patting his hair. "If you did that, you'd certainly die." But Herbert said, "Rut." Then he turned on the spot and he marched to the back of the hall. "You may think I'm a fool, but I'll talk to this gal. Wish me luck and good night to you all." Well, rumour was rife that when not causing a strife, the ghost had a house in the wood. So, in search of Miss Spoon, only lit by the moon, Herbert set off as fast as he could, through the dark, crooked trees. Just as calm as you please, Herbert searched for the ghost through the night. Till he came to a dwelling where he'd no trouble telling all the rumours he'd heard had been right. Do you think he's brave enough to go there? Let's see. Well, his nerve turned to butter as he peeped past a shutter and saw her sat there at her table. She was there in the gloom, quite alone in her room, looking spooky and somewhat unstable. Oh, he wanted to run, but his job was not done. "You'll regret this, you dimwit," he swore. But although scared to death, Herbert held tight his breath, and he opened Miss Annabel's door. Oh, he shook like a leaf, but to Herbert's relief, what he saw took away all his fears. Yes, to Herbert's surprise, from Miss Annabel's eyes came the sudden appearance of tears. "I'm so glad you're here," said the ghost, drawing near, "and I do hope you'll stay for some tea. I could make you some toast, maybe whip up a roast. Oh, I'm raving, just listen to me. Would you care for a sea scone?" The ghost, she went on. "I'll have baked some if I've only known." Then she fell in a heap and she started to weep. "I'm so tired of being alone." Well, it broke Herbert's heart when the ghost did impart, "All I want in the world is a friend, but when I got out, people run, scream and shout. I'll be lonely, I'm sure, till the end." Oh, she wept and she wept, for such sadness she'd kept deep inside her for such a long time, and with that Herbert knew what a good lad should do. In the distance a church bell did chime. The young man said, "Miss, I can promise you this. If a friendship is all that you need, well, you don't frighten me. You're as nice as can be. You can call me a friend. Yes, indeed." Poor Annabel Spoon. Well, she thought she would swoon. "Really?" she asked through her tears. "Yes," said the lad. "That's the best news I've had," said the ghost, "for the last 100 years." And that's how it ended. The ghost's heart was mended, for friendship was all that she craved. Her sadness diminished, the haunting was finished, the town had been properly saved. So, if you're in Tweed, 7 miles from the sea, and you visit a tea room at noon. Don't be unnerved if a table reserved for the ghost of Miss Annabel Spoon. The end.
The end. And that's the end of our story time. For more bedtime stories, you can check on our YouTube playlist or listen to more Storytime compilations at the Storyteller Fox. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.